Hey Joe, everybody! Welcome back to a special guide brought to you by your friend Lestin. This time, let's focus on one of the latest commanders, Annabelle. This commander probably went unnoticed while Hunter was still dominating the meta, but she's actually a really good commander, especially if you start first. And with the latest units released, even better. So today I'll give you some advice on how to win with her, how to deal with her if she's on the enemy side, and starting from now I also take a closer look at the neural link abilities, so you can understand how strong they are, and start craving them like limited gacha skins. Abilities. Ability 1. Passive. Suppression or stun trigger deals 300 damage at max level to the affected enemy. Very easy to understand ability and way more powerful than it looks at first glance. There are a lot of stun units in game, and even though there aren't as many suppression units, this ability will still trigger more times than you expect. The continuous damage alone is more than enough to get rid of enemy units in no time. Ability 2 on turn 1 deploys 12 stun steams to random enemy cells. Yes, that means the entire board will be full of steams. And since your first ability deals damage when they trigger, this guarantees insta-kills for things like Hunter Dogs or Dominus Monoliths on summon. A very annoying ability that will make your opponent think twice before summoning and completely rethink their strategy, especially if you start first. Take note, these steams can only appear on empty cells. If there's already another steam, model, trap, node, or unit there, then it simply won't deploy. Also, if a unit is summoned at the start of your opponent's turn and lands on a steam and dies, a positive steam generated by an Android effect can still appear in that same cell afterward. Ability 3 on turn 4. Apply suppression to random enemy 24 times. This is basically an early final boss commander skill. It will practically wipe the entire enemy board. Suppression resets as affected enemies to their base values, so most of them will die thanks to your passive damage. From how this ability works, we can clearly see the intended playstyle. Freeze the board, build your combo, trigger this ability, wipe the enemy board, and finish the match. For this, you'll want to run a semi-stun comp combined with healers or suppression units. Combos. Suppression units. Florence, Orin, Kirsten, Kiana. If there was ever a good moment to run suppression units, this is it. These units plus Annabelle combined with Kiana are absolutely destructive. Kiana is probably the best suppression synergy you can have with her. She creates real havoc on the enemy field, dealing damage everywhere. Extremely useful against overboosted asteroid units powered by Domino. Stun units: Morana with outfit on, Arachne, Omega, Lorraine, Nicole, Charlotte. Stun-based units usually affect multiple enemies at once, so Annabelle's passive will trigger like crazy. Pixie: if Kiana is the queen of suppression synergy, Pixie is the queen of stun synergy. She constantly stuns multiple enemies and they usually stay alive long enough to be affected by Pixie's other abilities too. Just be careful if you're against a hunter, because you might delete enemies instantly on summon. Healers: Florence, Dora, Cinta, Sky, Belle, Regina, etc. Trust me, you'll need healing. The meta right now is heavily based on rush comps thanks to Hunter and Domino, so those extra turns from healing are extremely valuable. Damage units: Bloom, Selena, Vespina, etc. With some exceptions like 16, Britney, and probably Scarlet too, cause they fill the enemy field with negative steams or traps that blocks Annabelle's steams. You'll already be dealing a lot of damage with Annabelle, so if your goal is to delete unit as fast as possible, damage dealers are the way to go. Bloom is already good counter to Domino because she can destroy monoliths and summon. Combine that with Annabelle's abilities, and the destruction becomes massive. Units with on-enemy death trigger abilities, like Grace, Ginny, Bea, Kaya, and Wendy. You'll be killing enemy units constantly, so these units benefit a lot from that. Grace will get stacks really fast and will end the match in no time. Ginny can do extra damage per death. Bea will be doing a lot of damage to the enemy commander even faster with her infection ability. And Kaya and Wendy will keep you alive. Wendy with the healings, and Kaya giving you extra health for your commander per killing. Counters. Lorraine. One of the main reasons Annabelle wasn't so popular on release was that many players have Lorraine well leveled, and Annabelle's suppression abilities became a liability. Kiana. Same issue as Lorraine. Her suppression synergy can actually punish Annabelle's own combo. Cinta. She can regenerate all the damage dealt to the units, and also remove your stun debuffs, so be very careful when facing her. Marcelo Commander and Shield Comp. Very risky matchup. Your damage abilities will just pop shields for her. SR steam generators like Ruby or Sally. They can act as blockers so Annabelle can freely place her steams, especially if your opponent plays first. Now let's take a look at neural links to see how much this commander can improve and how they help reduce her weaknesses. Neural link 1 with Inferno at level 3 will unlock an alternative ability tree. Stun instead of suppression. Applies a stun to random enemy 24 times. This one is the one neural link ability maybe some of you have already unlocked and even thought it may seem pointless to some of you. Just to change a stun for suppression is actually huge. Lorraine and Kiana are major counters, and this single change completely removes that problem. Plus, if some enemy survives the meteorite shower, they'll end up stunned. Perfect setup for your combo. Neuralink 2 with Roxy at level 5 will unlock the second alternative ability tree, a stronger suppression. The next mercenary except replicas deployed this turn applies suppression to all enemies in line, including ones with immunity. At first it seems weird to replace an AoE suppression with a line-based one, but this actually covers another weakness: immune units. It also gives you control over which line to suppress instead of relying on randomness. It's not a bad ability against opponent that likes this kind of units. Neuralink Trick with Rakana at level 8 will unlock an alternative ability too. Deploys 12 suppression steams to random enemy cells instead of the stun ones. Even though suppression is bad against Lorraine normally, suppression steams don't trigger her ability, which makes this surprisingly strong. For the opponent, being suppressed on summon and losing all abilities is often worse than being stunned but still keeping them. Used correctly, this can deny almost all non-immune entries and completely mess up enemy tempo. Neuralink 4 with Domino at level 10 will unlock the second alternative ability too. Passive suppression or stun trigger applies antidote to a random ally. This is a more defensive option. It frees up space in your squad since you won't need a cleanse unit. At first, it might seem underwhelming, but against heavy debuff teams or Salma users, it becomes extremely useful. Sometimes when you start in second place, you aren't even able to place your steams. So having an alternative ability that doesn't care about how full is the enemy side is really useful. Okay, now the real deal. Ability 1 variations. Neuralink 5 with Soul at level 13 will unlock an alternative ability 1. Reduced variability for higher damage. A stun trigger deals 900 damage to the affected enemy. That's triple the original value. But it only triggers on stun. Since stun units are more common than suppression ones, this variation is very strong. Combine it with the original ability 2 and Neuralink 1, you'll have a full stun-based commander that becomes deadly. We have on the other side Neuralink 6 with Cyrax at level 15 that will unlock a second alternative ability 1. Again, reduced variability for higher damage. Suppression trigger deals 600 damage to the affected enemy. If you're running a suppression focused team with Kiana's core, this version is perfect. Even though it's only double the original damage, it's more than enough, since remember Kiana also deals extra damage when suppression happens. So Neuralinks basically give you multiple tools with one commander to catch opponents off guard. It all depends on which combinations fits your playstyle and the matchup. For me, best variations will be Full Stun, Ability 1, Neural Link 5, Ability 2, the original one, and Ability 3, the Neural Link 1 ability. With a stun count like Pixie, Omega, Charlotte, Morana with Off and On, Nicole, with utility units like Ravenna, Belle, Tora, Florence, or Cinta, then Kaya, Bea, Wendy, Jeannie, or Grace, and last one can be Casey, Vespina, or Bloom. Full Suppression. Ability 1 will be the Neural Link 6, Ability 2 will be the Neural Link 3, and the Ability 3 will be the original one. With a semi-suppression comp with Kiana, Kirsten, or Ink as the attack buff as core, then adapt depending on your combo. You can run 5 utility units or mix these 3 into your current squad. Zoe and Chloe work great alongside Orin, for example. Then I'll pick Pixie, Omega, and Casey for counter purposes, and the last one will be Cinta for cleanse and healing. Combined setup. Ability 1 will be Neuralink 6, Ability 2 the Neuralink 3, and Ability 3 will be the Neuralink 1. So why not use Stun Trigger damage? Because it interferes with Pixie's combo. Also, this setup helps you stun the entire enemy board if the match goes long, letting you safely deploy Pixie even on a crowded field. With a squad like Omega, Pixie, Kiana, Kirsten, Morana with outfit on, with our utility units Casey, Orin, Torres, Centaur, Florence. This last comp also works with Annabelle's original abilities. Then any of the three comps mentioned can have backup variations depending on the matchup. Neuralink 2 for ability 3 if you're having troubles against immune units, Neuralink 4 for ability 2 if you're having troubles against the buff units. That's it for today's video, folks. If you enjoyed this guide, drop a like, share it with your alliance buddies, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And as always, this is your friend Lestion signing off. Stay sharp, stay short, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!